So Pods is a platform to publish your podcast on chain. I think we have the easiest way to bring your podcast on chain and start earning. We allow you to just easily link your RSS feed. So if you already have a podcast, you can just easily import the episodes in 2 clicks. It's on chain, it's an NFT, your community can collect it, you start earning directly from them, and you get to build a social graph or a leaderboard of your biggest fans. So we've been live for about a year and a half now. We have 130 something podcasts on the platform, and I think those podcasts have published about 2,500 episodes, generating over $2 million in net volume across all those episodes. So been a really fun journey this whole time.
Do you have any metrics around kind of like a podcast on traditional channels, traditional distribution versus kind of what Pods has enabled people to do, even just a rough estimate?
Yeah, so I think in total, the podcast industry on an annual basis does about $2 to $3 billion worth of revenue, and this ends up being about $250 on average per podcast episode, or per podcast per month. Pods as a whole right now, the average podcast on Pods earns about $800 per month on the platform. So it's about 2.5x, 3x higher than the industry average right now, and I think as a whole we've probably added 0.1% of total net revenue to the entire podcast industry so far.
Wow. I'm definitely a little biased because I launched my podcast on Pods. I had a previous podcast called Smart Art Business that had over 100,000 unique downloads. And I can tell you, the only revenue that I ever made from that podcast was through advertisers. And it took a lot of work for me to be able to actually pull in advertisers. Just in the last week of being on Pods, I think I'm about $1,200, 3 episodes.
It'd be around there, yeah, probably over 2,000 minutes at least. So, yeah, I would assume you're made a couple thousand.
So from 3 years to like 1 week, 3 years maybe $2,000 to 1 week of $1,200, and that's not a promise that that's what's going to happen for everybody. We've got to be really careful about saying that, but the possibility is there. The financial rails are there. What else do you think is kind of a compelling reason for people to come and use this technology besides just the monetary attraction?
Yeah, so I think one thing that you get right now in Web 2, we're looking at our YouTube Right Now channel, and you can see a lot of macro level data about the content. So we can see views, we can see comments, we can see, if we go to analytics, we can start to see demographics, who's listening, how long they're listening to. But what we don't get is the insights on the actual individuals behind the audience. What the NFTs allow you to do is to get more insights onto who these people are, what their affinity and level of love for you as a creator are, and what pieces of content they like the most. So you get a whole new dimension of analytics on the individuals behind your audience that we don't really get in Web 2. And we're only just scratching the surface with the Pods product right now, but we expect to kind of have a fully fledged audience CRM, so you can start to see all the individuals behind your audience. You can see what pieces of content they love the most, how long they've been supporting you, and then through that you can start to engage and reward them in different ways that weren't possible before. So that would be the non-financial aspect, is really this concept of the social graph behind your audience.
Plus owning your content.
Yeah. Permanent storage for all of your media, entirely controlled by you, so we don't own the contract that you publish your content to. So even if we go down or we decide we don't like your content anymore, that content still exists, entirely owned by you as a creator, and you can start to bring that wherever you need to. So I think that's another, very underrated piece of it. But I usually call that the kitchen sink benefits of all the other extra stuff that people don't really care about today, but they will in the future when YouTube rugs them or Spotify doesn't like them anymore and stuff like that.
So final question, takeaways from today, any highlights, anything learned, anything to take away with you?
Wow. Content is coming on chain at a very fast pace. Creators, I think, like yourself, are starting to see this vision at a very quick pace, and we're really only in the first or second inning of this entire industry. So put your content on chain, whether it's a coin, whether it's an NFT, we don't really care. We just want to see creators succeed and start experimenting with this new industry.
It's the future.
It's the future. That's what we like.
All right. Thank you, Lucas.